Hello everyone, welcome back to another amazing episode of Movie Battleground. I'm hosting again. Hopefully it goes better than the first time I hosted. Not as much controversy, but we have a very exciting match today. We got a returning competitor and someone who I think might be a little good at movie debating. We got Manning Franks, who is 1-0, whose nickname is the Maelstrom, right?
It is the Maelstrom. It is indeed that. I've carried that over from take 3, and now it's stuck. It was a spur of the moment. Now it's stuck.
So how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. Jen is an excellent competitor, both in movie trivia as well as movie debating. I saw her last performance, and it was quite good. And she beat me for trivia, so I decided why not come back and beat her actually with debating, because we can both use honeyed words to win our argument. So let's see what happens.
All right. And this is Jen, the meme queen Kent. I assume that's what you're still going with. And how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited to play. I haven't done a debate style kind of thing for a while, so this will be interesting to come back into it. And it's Manning, and I know that this is gonna be this is gonna be interesting to say the least, I think.
Yeah, well.
Definitely. Well, if you don't know how the game works, this is a movie debate show. We debate various movie topics, and it's a lot of fun. So we're going to start each person off with an opening statement, and we're going to start with the first question.
Let's do this.
First question, I believe, is what character are you most excited to see in the Fantastic Beasts sequel? And we're going to start this one out with Manning, so your opening statement.
Grindelwald. Okay, I don't know why I can't keep pronouncing his name incorrectly, but Grindelwald.
I have a point.
There we go. No, stop it, right there. His name is weird to say. I can say Dumbledore, Albus Dumbledore. That's what we need to do, because he is the one you're looking out for. Jude Law as Albus Dumbledore, because that is something that is going to be fresh and new and exciting and different, and actually explain and get us to know the character of Dumbledore just a bit more outside of the main Harry Potter franchise. And he counts because he will be someone we're bringing in from the Harry Potter franchise into the Fantastic Beasts one, which is the prequel series for the Harry Potter series. And that's just my opening statement.
All right, Jen, and what is your opening statement for this question?
I chose the character of Credence, played by Ezra Miller, who is a fantastic actor, and he was one of the newer characters introduced in the first Fantastic Beasts, a completely new dynamic for that new series, instead of just rehashing and completely going over everything that happened before in Harry Potter, which is basically what Manning has chosen. You say something for fresh and new, but you're picking someone who has been done to death already, and we're not exactly. If you want fresh and new, Credence is the one to go after.
Minus your mic's muted.
Yeah, my bad.
There you go.
All right. So now we're going to give you 6 minutes on the clock to debate each other. You can throw as many barbs at each other, destroy the character, just go full at it. And after that, you're going to have a closing statement, but try to get most of your points out in this round.
Okay, now I will go ahead and start. Oh, sorry. I'll go ahead and start now by saying, did you see the internet exploded when Jude Law was not only cast, but we saw that picture with that amazing beard? People cared about him. Ezra Miller? Yeah, cool. But people were actually looking
like Finstock, that beard?
You take a look at that beard and look at that beard. That is an amazing beard, okay? It makes everyone else who's growing a beard, myself included, jealous at what he can do, okay? And
right, I'm more interested in a character than a beard. This is all
I'm getting to that. I am getting to that. Jude Law, the Academy Award nominated actor, okay, for Talented Mr. Ripley. He has proven that he is an incredible actor, and I want to see what he can do bringing this role to Dumbledore as a younger man and seeing his relationship with Grindelwald actually unfold. And yeah, sure, we have a new character, and Ezra Miller was in the previous one Fantastic Beasts, and we saw him, and while yes, he was very good, might have been the highlight for that one. This is a completely different interpretation we'll be getting of an established character, and I'm always excited to see what someone else can bring to the role of an already established popular character to the series.
All right, 3 words for you. Star Wars prequels. You take a character that is
I see
beloved,
no problem.
mysterious, and you go back and you retcon his origin story. You're going to make a mess of it. The whole reason that Dumbledore was such a beloved character was he was this mythical creature. He was a wizard.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And yeah, you go back, this is J.K. Rowling has run out of ideas in terms of Dumbledore. The fact that she's bringing him back and making him a focal point of this series means she has no confidence in Fantastic Beasts, the characters that she set up in the first one. Instead, she's going back and rehashing all the things that made the first one popular. This is a completely new mythology introducing the Obscurus. This is something new. This is something original instead of just going back to things that she thinks people are going to know. We already changed Dumbledore once, and Richard Harris was Dumbledore. Michael Gambon was this cranky old man. He wasn't Dumbledore. So we already had one setback on that. Now. And now this is going to be a second one. Now we're going to go for sexy Dumbledore. Do we really want to see sexy Dumbledore?
Okay. All right, Dumbledore is the Obi-Wan, and who was the best part of the prequels? Ian McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Not Obi-Wan. Darth Vader.
He is not Darth Vader, okay? Darth Vader was Hayden Christensen. Are you saying Jude Law is Hayden Christensen? No. Jude Law is an established actor, and yeah, Life is a House is a thing. We know that. Shattered Glass was a thing, but Jude Law has a much more eclectic filmography, and you've shown that he can bring it.
Ezra Miller he's only been working for about 4 years. Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yeah.
We need to talk about Kevin. You say what you want about Justice League. He is the best thing in that movie. So giving him an option here in a bigger franchise, he was the best thing yourself. He was the best thing. If Colin Farrell stayed in the movie and we didn't change to Johnny Depp, that would have been my choice. But whatever.
And we were gonna.
So instead, we have Credence he's new, he's fresh, he's a completely new take on this world and what it means to be a wizard, and that's what needs to be explored instead of going back to things that, I remember that reference, I know what this is. So
we aren't going back. We're going to be establishing new things because how many times have you read probably about the lore of Albus Dumbledore and his relationship with Grindelwald? And Grindelwald's going to be the Darth Vader of this one. Let's be honest completely. I mean, when they took out Colin Farrell and replaced him with Johnny Depp, that was the moment we realized, oh wow, okay, they don't want someone who is very good in the role. I want someone who probably will bring something else completely different. But that's not the argument here. We could talk about that later. The argument here is, who are we looking forward to the most? And if you saw the internet and how excited people were to see Dumbledore again, casual moviegoers, mind you, maybe not people who are diehard, like myself, I've never read the books. I'm personally excited to see what happens with Dumbledore because I could care less about these other characters, okay? Fantastic Beasts was a mediocre film at best, and I couldn't really care. Newt Scamander? Sure, whatever. This lore is what makes Harry Potter great, and be able to explore that lore with someone who is one of the greatest wizards of all time, and seeing what Jude Law can actually bring to this role, I feel like is going to be the highlight of this entire movie. And yes, we had a previous one with Ezra Miller, Credence, but this is a brand new interpretation of Dumbledore, and I'm excited to see this.
It's a redo. It's a rehash. It's a redo.
How do you know? How do you know? How do you know?
People are not excited. People are dreading the idea of ruining one of J.K. Rowling's popular characters.
Okay. No. If you look
it's a lot easier to ruin something
than
it is to create something.
Yes, but you are also talking about people who are like diehard Harry Potter fans. I'm looking at it from a casual movie-going audience. If you just saw people who are looking at the first picture of him, you will see people who are super excited, even about the casting and itself, like, oh, that's great casting. If you look at the fan casting, people are like going for Ian McGregor, and when Jude Law finally came along, people were excited. Ezra Miller is like, yeah, cool and all, and for a character we haven't seen before, but this is someone, Dumbledore is
They picked Jude Law because he was the one British actor over the age of 30 that wasn't in Harry Potter yet. That's why they picked him.
I think we can go. You and I can take a few trips on Wikipedia and IMDb and find out there are some other great actors who were there who would not be Jude Law, but that is actually very clever. I will admit that. However, because literally everyone was in Harry Potter who is British, that's not very hard to do.
But so this is casting Ezra Miller. That was a courageous choice to make something.
But mostly everyone over there is American. You're set in America. Of course, you're going to have an American be in America. That's not far out, okay?
He is someone that you haven't seen before in this world. Harry, he was
Saw him in
being
Fantastic
introduced.
Beasts. We saw him in Fantastic
Yeah,
Beasts.
but in the lore, you're going after 7 books. I'm going after 1 film. You're going after 7 books of lore. I'm going after 1 film of lore, in which he was just a piece. So he is something that needs to be explored further. He is a different characterization because he is someone who is afraid of his own power, which we haven't seen before. He's being completely introduced to this world, which he's been told is evil and it should be avoided. So it's going to create this whole new dynamic for whoever the director is at this point to explore, instead of just going back and go, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did all those things that J.K. Rowling kept talking about and hinting at, but then actually didn't have any foundation for. So this is like when J.K. Rowling goes on Twitter and says, hey, by the way, Ron Weasley's favorite ice cream flavor was pumpkin. Like, it doesn't matter. She keeps going back and trying to change things. Instead, this is her creating something with Credence and then also throwing in, hey, by the way, Dumbledore's here in case you didn't like Newt Scamander. That's what she's doing there.
Okay,
it's
now what I'm
saying is, it's safety protocol.
Looking back at this.
All right, like 10 seconds.
Okay, no, I'm good. I don't need anything else more.
Just go to final.
All right.
Let's do it.
So let's go to closing statements. We're going to start with Manning on this. Manning, your closing statement.
My closing statement is that what we got with Ezra in Fantastic Beasts with Credence is a great performance. However, it's something we've already seen in Fantastic Beasts, and we're going to explore that further, and I'm excited to see what happens. But with Dumbledore, this is literally a brand new interpretation of an established character that we will get. It's like seeing Ian McGregor breathing life into the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi for the first time. As someone who's fallen in love with that performance, I'm ready to see Jude Law provide an astounding and memorable take on a character of Albus Dumbledore, a complex, and no matter what you say, Jin, I've enjoyed both performances as Dumbledore, and I'm ready to see him join the next pantheon of all 3 actors.
All right, that was a good closing statement. And Jen, your final thoughts?
Ezra Miller Credence is something new. We want something new. This is, if you choose Dumbledore, it's because you don't care about the Fantastic Beasts franchise. When we picked these, Manning even admitted that he hadn't watched Fantastic Beasts. So, like, Credence it's something new to explore. It's a completely different dynamic in this world. It creates a new mythology, new characterization. Ezra Miller's a great actor. You already know what he's going to be like. If you've seen a Jude Law movie, you kind of know what he's going to act like. And Dumbledore, we can go over his storyline. It could become a complete mess, and it means that they don't have any faith in the new Fantastic Beasts storyline. So this is Harry Potter 0.5 instead of Fantastic Beasts 2.
All right. That was a very good round by both of you. My points went back and forth, definitely. I got to say, in the beginning, I think I was leaning towards Manning because he was coming in very hot with, he said that Dumbledore's the one thing that he really wanted over there, and it seemed like a great decision. But Jen fired back very well, saying that that's kind of like sort of fanfare, and it's not really necessary to the film. And being more of a fan of the film, she pointed out how seeing this new character, having him explored, would be a lot more interesting. So I am going to give the first point to Jen.
Someone is not excited for Grindelwald.
No. The minute they changed it from Colin Farrell, I was like, I'm out. I'm pissed.
Okay.
So
I don't care that much. I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, so. And I did watch Fantastic Beasts now, guys, okay? I didn't watch it prior before this, and it's still mediocre.
Yeah, it's a mediocre film for sure.
Oh, yeah, I will agree with that.
See,
but in this next round, there's going to be no mediocre films for sure. This is a very anticipated round. I'm sure everyone's wanted to see us debate this. This is what is the best Pixar film. And for this round, we're going to start with Jen and your opening statement.
All right. For the best Pixar film, Pixar is a company that is all about family. It's about reaching out to kids while also being entertaining for adults. And in that case, I chose Finding Nemo. This is a film that has something for everyone. It has emotional range from comedy to full-on drama, misery, but there's plenty of jokes peppered in there. It's beautiful animation, just a excellent cast of colorful characters. There's someone for everyone to enjoy. It's watchable and quotable, so it hits all the emotional notes. It's a perfect movie. Ignore the sequel. It is a perfect movie as is, and it's one of my personal favorite movies, animation or otherwise.
All right, that was a good statement. And Manning, we're going to hear your opening statement for your film.
You know what Pixar sequel you shouldn't forget? Toy Story 3. What Toy Story 3 managed to do, and I will go off right the bat and say these are both excellent choices. Pixar rarely gets it wrong, and most of their films are masterpieces, in my opinion. But what Toy Story 3 did in particular is create a branching story. One Toy Story, and finally cap it off in something that is all about family and has progressed us to this moment of pure emotion, pure childlike wonder, and absolute memorable performances and story throughout about the trials of growing up and making it relatable to both adult, child, whomever.
All right. Very good statements. I'm going to put 6 minutes on the clock, and you guys are going to debate it out, see which of these best Pixar films is the best.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to talk childlike wonder? I think every single child was scarred for life in that shot when the toys basically went to hell. I don't know what kid it was going to enjoy Toy Story 3. This was one for the adults, and that's why I think it's way off balance, because this was a movie that single adult over the age of 18 bawl their eyes out for plus 2 hours, and all the kids, hey, they liked it when the stretchy octopus made a joke and when Mr. Potato Head turned into a pita. But other than that, they had nothing to latch onto there. Buzz Lightyear is barely in this movie. Barbie is more important than he is in this movie. Woody is having an existential crisis. Jessie isn't there. Basically, she's there to fawn over Senor Buzz. They've eliminated the side characters. They are not important at all. Barbie and Ken are more important than the main trio of characters. So I don't know how you can pick this one over Finding Nemo, which is just is a perfect film with plenty of characters to enjoy instead of focusing on crazy ones and insane ones and things that are going to make people cry. I didn't realize you liked being miserable, Manning.
You know who else enjoyed this film a lot more? The Academy, where it was nominated for Best Picture of 2010, okay? This
Didn't
movie,
win.
I don't know, and well, of course it didn't win. Neither did Finding Nemo. It wasn't even nominated. Don't bring that up. Animated films
because
never
they
win
didn't
Best
start-
Picture.
There has been no respect for animation in the Oscars, so that's
Well, that's 100%. We can agree with that because, well, okay, we're branching off of that discussion for another time. However, I don't understand. What are you talking about? The course is not just for adults. It's for people who have been growing with the Toy Story characters. That is for the adults. You get to see them relate. Yes, but you will also you know how many like jokes there are on there just for kids. Of course, it's a perfect thing for kids. I saw this when I was like, hold on. Going down the memory lane.
in the theaters, the only thing that I heard the kids laughed. The only time I heard the kids laugh was when Mr. Potato Head was a pita. That was the one thing that got the kids laugh.
That's probably I don't know.
And when it was uber violent when all the toddlers were little demons and ripping up toys. That was the thing that made kids laugh.
Of course they have kids have a strange. Let me talk. You've had your time. 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 You've had your time.
Life is sad. That's what you learned from Toy Story 3.
Okay, Judge. She's not letting me talk. Judge.
You gotta speak up for yourself. Just speak.
Fine.
Up.
All right then. All right, Jin. Okay. Now that you've had your violence for kids talk spiel, you want now?
It's violent depressing.
Of course, because they're in a daycare system. I work with kids. Sometimes they want to destroy things, and it's talking about they are taking that, and actually developing a relationship with these toys. These toys you've known for 3 separate movies, and bringing it into bringing it into a head, which is one of the best trilogies of all time, and capping that off into something that is poignant and at the same time lighthearted and fun with these characters. Woody, you said he was having an existential crisis because he was being thrown away. We're learning about mortality and the idea of growing up. That is perfect for kids. I was 10 years and whoa, no, I wasn't. Hello, that is wrong. I was 12 years old when I saw this. I was like, I'm in college. This is not right. I was 12 years old when I saw this, and I bawled my eyes out at the idea of growing up. This is maybe not for 2-year-olds or 3-year-olds. This is for 5-year-olds and up. Those who actually understand a proper sentence and some deep moral themes that are happening. Okay, and Finding Nemo. Okay, let's go to Finding Nemo for a second over there. Yeah, it's super sad and depressing, but it's also kind of scary too. That entire scene. But
Finding Nemo is not that depressing. It has
okay,
2 minutes of
Dory.
depressing.
Dory
Toy
nearly
Story is 2
died.
hours.
Dory nearly died.
Dory nearly died in Toy Story.
Of course she did. Look,
she did. She was
that
fine.
entire thing. Yeah, the toys, they were totally fine, okay? They're going to the trash bag, they were totally fine. Nothing even happened to them. Dory got hurt more than the toys, okay? That one was scarring it itself.
Hell? How are they fine?
It's a trash compactor. It's not hell. It's a trash compactor. Oh, come on.
Okay.
But anyway, Dory basically died, okay? For we all thought she was dead. And then they descended down to the darkest depths and they were like, you know, the entire movie just keep swimming. That was a scary moment for kids with that. I don't know what that thing was.
That is a lesson for kids to
learn.
That
is scary. Just
Nemo
like Toy Story 3 has lessons for kids to learn.
Yeah, but in not a miserable way. Finding Nemo is about learning
to
be independent while also supporting your family, while also incorporating others, accepting people with handicap disabilities, friends with strangers. It's a lot of things, and it's done
friends with strangers is a great thing to teach your kids. Hey, stranger, let's go find my son in the middle of nowhere. Okay, that's better. Now that's better.
Life is depressing. You're gonna grow up. You're gonna get cynical.
That is 100% false. I did not learn that in Toy Story. I learned Toy Story is the idea of growing up and the childlike one, because you learn what it means to actually go from you know a simple boy living in a house playing with his toys all the way up to what it means to go up to college. You know how timely and important that is for people at this day and age when they realize they have to throw away their childhood because they have to grow up. The society forces us to bury that kid inside and instead grow up to what this mold is for a human adult. And we see that through the eyes of toys, things we latch onto as kids. What Finding Nemo does is that what Finding Nemo does is that it makes a fun little adventure with finding your kids. Like, I gotta find my son. It's a fun adventure right across the ocean in Australia, just like Toy Story 3. An excellent fun adventure.
Right, that was definitely a heated round.
Why was Australia there? Also in Australia.
They're in Australia. They're Australia. The EAC.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I just wanted to say Australia.
Manning's anti-Australia.
I can't tell someone to stop talking during the round. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was about to say she just kept talking.
Yeah, you kind of gotta fight for yourself. There's no equal rounds. Right. So we're gonna start off with the closing statements. We're gonna start with Jen on this. So, what is your closing statement for this round?
So, Finding Nemo is something that everyone can enjoy. The humor is for adults with Albert Brooks' dry humor, and for kids with Ellen DeGeneres' slapstick. It's colorful. It's beautiful. The score is fantastic. It's rewatchable. Toy Story 3. How many times have you rewatched it? Because honestly, I cannot bring myself to rewatch it because I don't feel like crying for 2+ hours. It is a mess to go through, and it's basically just stabbing yourself in the heart and killing the inner child. Finding Nemo, it is embracing that inner child and going on a lovely adventure that you can enjoy again and again. It is infinitely quotable. Toy Story 3, great for the Academy, not so much for kids, not so much for rewatches.
And Manning, it's your final statements to end this hotly contested round.
By putting your own personal feelings toward this film and saying it's not rewatchable takes away the entire gravity of the situation of those who fell in love with these characters, with Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack, and all these amazing performances from these famous and very well-respected actors, and what they brought to these roles has tested time and again. The winner, yes, it did want a lot of praise and hype around that. And yes, it is 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, to let you know, and 98% for Finding Nemo. But that beside the point. It's a movie that speaks to many generations. And yeah, there is not slapstick humor, unless you count the zucchini. But that in of itself, I think, is a testament to the versatility that film was able to do, and the fact it is something that can watch with the entire family. And yeah, crying is a part of you growing up. Crying is a part of emotion, and that's something that I want to be able to teach kids as well too, as well as laughter.
All right, that was a very good round for both of you. That's definitely very intense. You guys were extremely passionate about those films, and it was very exciting to see you guys go at it about that.
My favorite Pixar film over here. Made me upset over here, Jen.
Now, let's see. So it's definitely a really good back and forth, but I feel, and I think Manning's points stuck a little stronger. I don't think the argument of it not being exactly a child's movie, because Toy Story 3 speaks to generations. I think how the emotional impact impacted him, I got a little more with that. Well, your arguments for Finding Nemo were really good, but I don't think the exact rewatchability factored into that, because that's just one opinion. And like you said, the humor, but in the end, I am going to go with Manning for that 1 point.
Yes.
But that was a really close round, and
Do
Have fun
you
trying,
hate
Nisha.
Toy Story 3? Do you
No,
hate
I
Toy
love
Story
Toy
3,
Story
Jen?
3. Obviously, I love
Okay.
Toy Story
I mean,
3.
Okay.
how do you hate?
The only Pixar movie I hate is Good Dinosaur. So,
Not Cars
You
2?
like Brave?
yeah, Cars. I like Cars 2 more than I like Good Dinosaur.
Brave's my
Oh,
least.
wow.
I hate Brave.
I like Brave.
Brave's fine.
I'm not saying Cars 2 is good. I'm just saying it's better than the Good Dinosaur.
That's fair.
Good Dinosaur is
That's fair.
just forgettable.
Yeah, I forgot about it until you mentioned it.
He's an asshole. The protagonist is like a jerk.
Well, that's the same in Cars, also.
Yeah, I don't like Cars at all. Yeah.
Now, this
I
next question, I don't have that much knowledge in, but I'm hoping you guys do. It's worst video game movie not made by UWE Bowl,
UA Bowl.
whatever that is.
Yeah. Oh boy.
We're gonna start with Manning on this round, and yeah,
Okay. This one is a personal choice. I am a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise. It is one of the first games I remember getting for my Xbox 360. I got Assassin's Creed 2 for the first time. I put it in. I fell in love with the story of Desmond Miles and Ezio Auditore da Firenze, and exactly the entire Assassin's lore and the Templars and what they've been going through all these years. This alternate history was fantastic. Wow, I'm losing my voice from last round. I just realized from that discussion. Woo! This is gonna be fun.
It's all part of my strategy.
Curse you. However, walking into these, seeing that first trailer outside of that Kanye West song, I was super pumped. They looked like they had gotten the visual style perfectly. I went to see it. I was ignoring the reviews, thinking, hey, maybe this is not going to be as bad as I think it is. I saw it in theaters. God save us all. This movie is so boring. They made Assassin's Creed, which should have been a lot of fun and a lot of interesting history and lore, something that I could care less about. And that hurt me on the inside, because this game series is fantastic, and they didn't make it fun. They made it a chore to sit through, and that is the biggest crime a video game movie can do, is make it something not enjoyable to watch.
seems like you love that film. Jen, your opening statement, please.
So much.
All right, I went for Super Mario Brothers the movie. Just a complete misfire. I don't know what they were going for here, but it is, instead of being the classic beloved franchise that pretty much everyone, even if you haven't played the game, you have an idea of what this franchise is. If you were to sit down in this movie and not see a title screen, you would have no clue that it was connected to this video game. It is just a cyberpunk nightmare. It felt like they just had this script lying around, and instead of creating their own script for Super Mario Brothers the movie, they just said, why don't we just make the characters' names Mario, and then we're good. But yeah, it is just a complete mess. It makes no logical sense. Mario is unimportant. This is technically, it's more of a Luigi and Daisy movie than it is a Super Mario Brothers movie. Basically, it's John Leguizamo trying his best, Bob Hoskins having a midlife crisis, and Dennis Hopper, he is just screaming about monkeys, and he was a more rational and logical actor in Blue Velvet than he was in this movie. So yeah, it is just a complete mess. So I dare you to bring something logical out of this movie. So yeah, let's get into it.
All right, 6 minutes on the clock. Go at these movies and have fun.
You can't bring anything logical to that movie. And you know why? Because that movie is ridiculous fun. Oh my god. Do you know how how bad that movie is. It's one of those The Room movies where you just watch it and you just think it is the most ridiculous fun time. You can't defend that movie in the sense of where it is that, but that movie was doomed from the start. Because of what they've been doing, there was no expectation beyond that film. Because let's be honest,
there's no expectation. This is the biggest video game franchise there is. There was huge expectation. That's the only reason they made any kind of budget.
Let's be honest. As someone who's played a lot of Mario, there isn't a story. It's there is a story.
It's very
going to save you, Peach. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm gonna go stop on these Goombas.
It's very simple. It's a hero's journey.
It's simple.
That involves saving a princess from a monster. Somehow, let's take the Judge Dredd and Biff Casino set, and we'll put them in there, and we'll have political upheavals.
What type of expectations was someone having going into that film? Like, oh, this is gonna be a great Mario movie. I can't wait for this. It is stupid fun. How much time? I've only watched it once. And watching this, this is. I mean, I was having a blast with my friends.
You had so much fun. You watched it once and threw it away.
It's not exactly easy to come across. I mean, my library doesn't have it. I'm like, I'm not going to spend money renting that. But seeing it for the first time, like, this is going to be a train wreck, and of course it was a train wreck. But like most video game movies, it's fun. It's stupid fun. The first Mortal Kombat, stupid fun. Prince of Persia, stupid fun.
After enjoying your misery of Toy Story 3 and now going into stupid
Resident
fun
Evil,
here.
Video game movies are stupid fun.
Okay, but video game movies, they get made because they have target audiences. Super Mario Bros., I have no waiting for with this because you would think it would be for kids. It is definitely not for kids because people's walking around like it's a sex dungeon. And it's not for people who love the game because it makes no sense. It has no ties in. They made Toad as a busker and they stabbed Yoshi, like the dinosaur that everyone loves. They just stabbed him.
Well, they were obviously on acid making this movie.
The most emotional scene they have is between Daisy and her fungus father and waltzing with dinosaurs in an elevator.
You're talking about a movie that's ridiculous and stupid and fun!
Meanwhile, Assassin's Creed looks like Assassin's Creed. It doesn't follow
Of course
exactly,
it does, but
the visuals and the set design and the incredible acting cast fit the mold. It was targeted for fans of the game. It's fans of the game. The people that went and saw this movie, they recognized the visuals from the trailer. You admitted it yourself. You saw the visuals from the trailer. Oh, I want to see this movie. So you go in, and it does have the visuals in the Inquisition stages, and the action sequences in there. Those are all fantastic set pieces. They resemble the game. And then watching this movie, it makes you go, well, maybe it wasn't a great movie, but it makes me want to go back and play the games again. After you see Super Mario Brothers, you're like, I have no idea what I just saw. That wasn't Super Mario Brothers. I want to take an Advil and take a nap.
Yeah.
That's all you want to do after seeing Super Mario
I'm not talking about Advil or a nap. I didn't take anything after that, because that seems like a fun time with the movie you're talking about. The one at Assassin's Creed, it broke the cardinal rule of sin of not being fun. It was boring. I don't remember anyone besides Callum Lynch. It's the only name I remember because I looked it up on Wikipedia. Michael Fassbender is utterly wasted. One of the Academy Award nominated, and Maureen Cotillard, Academy Award winner. Jeremy Irons, Academy Award winner. These guys are wasted! Super wasted!
Michael Fassbender is wasted in 90% of his filmography, okay? He has made some terrible decisions.
Ouch.
It's his agent. Jeremy
90%, let's not...
Jeremy Irons only signed on to this because he is somehow a fan of fantasy things. Go back and look at his filmography. He keeps popping in anything that has a dragon or anything that has any kind of fantastical elements. But he just signed on this for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Marion Cotillard, she did this because she's friends with Michael Fassbender. He needed a franchise. Not his fault.
But also they did it because they were in Macbeth together. That's the director did this. Yeah. So you think this would be a great movie, and it's utterly boring. You watch this and you're just like, I just don't care what's happening. The only thing that's the redeeming about this is the really one cool middle set piece where they're escaping the
it's so memorable. Every Inquisition.
Wow. Okay, I can't remember about it.
Fantastic. That's
not every.
The faults of the future part. Like I accept that. However, there are set pieces. There are sequences that are fantastic, and it has the score from the game and the look. So there's not much else you can do about it other than just a little bit of the future.
But Assassin's Creed is so much more than just the look and the style. The lore behind those games is probably one of my favorite, next to like BioShock okay, yeah, I guess BioShock are the only ones that I would probably put above that. But the lore behind Assassin's Creed is very deep and it's dense, and they just dump a whole bunch of exposition on that instead of taking their time.
It's complex. so they didn't
Not like
have
this
enough
movie.
time to go into it.
Which is why
Whereas
they
Super
did
Mario
this is
Brothers,
a complete
it's
misfire.
so simple, and they didn't do it. Super Mario
Your
Brothers
movie
is so
is just
simple, and they didn't
stupid.
do it at all.
And it's great.
Yes, it's stupid.
It
It's a
knows
terrible
exactly
movie.
what it is. This movie tried to take it and elevate something, and not and you
Bob
wink, wink,
Hoskins
nudge,
and John
nudge.
Leguizamo were drunk the entire time because they freaking hated that they signed on to do this movie.
Which is
okay?
why a lot of
This
people
is
who watch it are
something that
drunk.
it was a blackmail on their careers. It was just horrendous. I don't know who. It's mind-boggling how they greenlit this project to begin with, because it makes no sense.
Yeah, but most of those people, actors you have mentioned, they aren't Michael. They're Michael Fassbender, Marion Cotillard. Those two actors are not them. They, I mean, and they have limited in comparison to what
C-list
they can.
actors in a terrible movie. You have A-list
in
actors
a movie that is basically C-list actors.
Hopefully going to be a big budget franchise.
Sorry.
All right.
And it wasn't.
All right. So, sounds like great films for sure. We're gonna hear your closing statement from Manning now.
You mentioned prior that Assassin's Creed, they got the look right, and for the most part, kind of. But Assassin's Creed is. But when you have something as interesting and dear, and you don't even use those characters like Desmond, Lucy, Altair, Connor, any of those people who have rich backstories, and you go for something completely different that looks like a bastardization of some sort, you are missing out on one of the best franchises of all time by hitting this with a thud. And because it is utterly boring, it breaks the car. If you look at Resident Evil, if you look at stupid movies like Blood Rain, if you look at movies like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, they're stupid, they're fun, just like Super Mario Brothers. Assassin's Creed, utterly lifeless and boring, something you don't want to say about a video game movie where most things can barely say, hey, I had a fun time watching it.
All right, that was a statement. Jen, you're going to finish up this round for us with your closing statement.
Okay. Super Mario Brothers, it's just an unfortunate accident in the history of cinema. It has no redeeming qualities. It was a very simple story to follow, but instead they chose to go completely out of the box and missing the mark on all accounts. It's not for fans of the game. It's not for adults. It's not for people with eyes. It's not for people with brains. I have no idea who it's for. It's for money, but it didn't work out. Assassin's Creed, it may not be a great movie, but it looks like the game. It follows the basic construct of the game, and it has fantastic actors. The cinematography is good. The action sequences are good. All of the Inquisition scenes are good. They fit the movie. They fit the game. They inspire you to go back and enjoy the game. Super Mario Brothers does not do that. It just makes you sad that you paid up $10 to go see this horrible, horrible, horrible movie.
Wow, $10, wow.
Well, this is going to be tough. No, those movies are both terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I'm stuck because there's lots of arguments saying that one maybe was more adaptive to the film, but one was more fun and enjoyable, that at least you can get that out of it. So I'm going to look through some of my points. It was definitely proven that the Mario film is more fun and maybe a little bit more enjoyable to watch, but the Assassin's Creed...
That's subjective.
It might be a little more...
Hey, everything you said sounds like a delight.
This is a subjective argument in some point.
Yeah, it is.
But you did argue how his film maybe adapted the source material better, and it looked good. It had better talent behind it.
Which makes it a more of a disappointment.
All right, so what is UW Bowl, first of all? I don't know if that's going to help with my...
UA Bowl.
The director.
Yeah.
He makes a lot of the
bad movies.
I thought that was like a video game company. Okay.
No.
It's not UABsoft or Ubisoft. Why did I say UABsoft?
UW, it does sound like a video game company, though. All right. In the end, I think even it's sort of a subjective point, saying that you got a little bit of enjoyment and dumb fun out of the film, I think might have been slightly stronger. So, with that, I am going to give the point to Manning, but this is a very tough round. Very
You're
tough.
going to get in so much trouble from people today, Mario.
No. Hey, you know what?
It's not.
Guys,
I've
watch that
gotten
movie
hate
again.
before. I can take it. So,
Guys, watch that movie again.
I will say I initially had picked Assassin's Creed, but Manning had already gotten his choices in. So yeah.
And you argued it very well. I just think his point saying that they didn't even use the amazing characters, all that, which was kind of similar in Mario, but he said there's a little stupid, dumb fun of it, which I think is slightly true, so that's why I gave the point to him. But it's still anyone's game. It's 2-1. It's not going to be a knockout. We're going to the speed round, and this question is going to be definitely very interesting for sure. It's, what is the best Terminator movie? And we're starting with Jen on this one. Your opening statement.
Yeah, I picked the superior film, Terminator 2: Judgment Day. There's only two options here, honestly. Let's all be honest about this. There's two options, and I was actually surprised because Manning got his choices in first, and he picked T1, so I thought that was really interesting because I completely disagree. For once, I actually completely disagree. So Terminator 2 is the movie that James Cameron wanted to make when he made the Terminator. He finally got a budget, he got a studio behind him, he had special effects, he had the actors he wanted, the visuals are better, the characters are better, the story is better, the action is better, everything is better in Terminator 2. It is a bigger budget movie, it has more complex themes to it, it has better characterization, it's just better. It's a better movie. Come on.
All right. Manning, your opening statement.
Man, I'm going to feel this in the morning without my voice. Okay. The reason I picked T2... Sorry, no, I didn't pick T2. T1.
I got the point. There you go.
No, that's not what No, I did not pick Judgment Day. The reason I picked number 1 is because, yes, T2 is amazing. And yes, I will agree with Jen. There are really only two options you can pick from this. Unless she was going to make a surprise. Hey, I love Genesis.
I'm not insane.
Okay, glad to know that. The reason I picked T1 was that this was my first introduction to the Terminator, and this, I think, is a fantastic opening for a series.
Everyone.
Is one of the... Oh, I know. Some people saw T2 first. Yeah. But this is... okay, let me rephrase that. This was the opening for everyone into the world of Terminator, and this set the bar for what Terminator and what sci-fi at that time when it came out, for what it could be. And I feel this also this showed the world what Arnold Schwarzenegger could actually be and what could actually do as a leading man and as an intimidating character. And I think this is what cemented him into the eyes of most moviegoers.
All right, we got 6 minutes on the clock. Fight it out.
Okay, you argued that the T1 was what proved to everyone what Schwarzenegger could do. He had like 6 lines in the whole movie. It was all walking around and posturing. Meanwhile, in T2, he had a range of emotions, had a whole dynamic between him and John that created a whole nother level of characterization instead of just killer the first one. He's Michael Myers. He's Michael Myers with sunglasses on. That's all it is. Becomes a complex character that drives the story instead of just being this immovable object.
Complex character is
a far superior villain. More threatening, just cooler, all in all.
Because he's a 1000. First off, complex character is a little
better.
We'll at least say 3-dimensional. Complex seems a little bit much here. But what this? But
so you agree that he's 3-dimensional in 2, and in 1 he's not at all. So I would think if it's just 3-dimensional.
Well, but that's not the point. Yeah, but that's not the point of this. The point of this one is established what he is. When people think of the T800. They don't think about how complex
when they think of the T800 is.
What they think about, if they think of an intimidating character, you see, you know what they also think of? I'll Be Back, which was in the first one. So that kind of cancels each other out. But he also cemented it. He has cemented it in the first one. That's when people know. When people quote, it's from that one. But that cancels each other out. That aside,
mean from the second one.
I'll Be Back.
Anyway, putting him aside.
Okay,
Sarah
putting
Connor,
that aside.
Lyndall Hamilton in the first one, she is nothing more than a horror movie final girl. She is not complex at all. She is running. That's all she is. In the second one, she became an icon in the entirety of cinema as a strong female character that is to be, she is independent. She is worried about the future. She has multiple things that she's worried about instead of just, I'm running away from this thing and maybe I love this guy. That's what happens in the first one. And in the first one also, Reese, he is just in love with Sarah. That's his whole thing, is I have to protect her. How complex is that? It's a horror movie.
I'm not.
Straight up horror.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's a more complex movie. What I'm saying is that it is a far better movie in the way that it's constructed.
So you're saying
T2, great.
movies are better than complex movies with themes about technology and humanity. And
if they're executed better, then yes. Star Wars: A New Hope is my favorite movie of all time, and it is the most complex movie of all time. No, but it's a incredibly well constructed film. But that's not beside the point. It's all about how you do it. Gravity is also one of my favorite films. It is a simple film with like some simple themes. But how you construct a film to me is more important than the themes that you present in this film. And what it does is that it makes an intimidating character. It perfected the quote unquote horror genre. It did what Alien did and made this into another sci-fi modern tale set during the 80s. What it does with Sarah Connor is that we relate to her during a situation of we are her right now, escaping this terror, this technological terror. That is why we relate to more than even Ripley. Ripley was someone who was like this incredible character who took the alien down. In this one in of itself, we relate to more of this scared character running away from this technological terror, as I mentioned again, the Terminator. And we're going back to T2, she becomes this unstoppable
Ellen
force.
Ripley in Alien is the equivalent of Sarah in T2. She is nowhere near the same as Sarah in T1 because Sarah has
as I'm saying, we basically had Ripley
in Terminator 1.
Sarah Connor is Ripley. We've already had that.
The second one. Wouldn't you rather
Ripley.
You'd rather have someone that's just nothing and you just have a screaming girl?
That's what you want?
Instead, you'd rather not have an interesting person that's a human? In Terminator 2, Sarah she takes agency over her storyline. You say that we are supposed to relate to Sarah. Wouldn't you rather take control of your life instead of hoping that someone comes from the future and saves you from the peril instead of going out there and
a robot is chasing you? The simplicity of the Terminator is that you have to run from this thing that is trying to take you out. This one, they totally fight back because it's a totally different concept. The Terminator, the first one,
it's not a different concept.
Story.
It's the same concept, and it's James Cameron perfecting the concept he had in the first one because
perfecting is an interesting word. Well, he's wrong. It was really good.
Well, Terminator 2 is my better film. He's gone on record. The director himself.
Well, this guy also, James Cameron is the guy who also said Wonder Woman isn't that great of a film, So let's not get into that, what he says, because,
that was not
outside of James Cameron. By money, but
that wasn't it. But this is the movie that he's most proud of, and it's the one he should be most proud of because it furthered the sci-fi genre. It furthered the action genre, which people didn't
Terminator
expect
didn't.
from.
And the first one did not.
1 minute.
No.
Terminator did not. I would look back also at Rotten Tomatoes, where it sets it a nice whopping 100%. And
all right, you take way too much stake in Rotten Tomatoes, okay?
Look at Metacritic. It also has a bar.
On Rotten Tomatoes, those weren't reviewed until like 5 years ago, okay? So that's completely different.
Yeah, but we have eyes now to look at exactly not at the time that it was selling, but people are looking back. Well, in nostalgia, you're also saying The Empire Strikes Back. T2 is like 83 right now.
Did you pull that up?
Yep, right here. I have this. I am prepared for this. I know the, although the audience, I will admit, the audience score is greater for Terminator 2. The audience score is greater. However,
so you earlier said that you don't want a complex film. That would audience.
I'm not saying I didn't want it. I'm not saying I didn't want it.
In 10 seconds.
You are putting words into my mouth.
You said I don't care about complexity in my films. However, of complexity.
No, just make a good film and
more accessible and more enjoyable and more rewatchable and more just.
And that's
not necessarily the time. Look at Mother.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. All right.
It's okay.
So, very heated round, of course, and we're going to start with Jen. Closing statement. This is the last main game, so get everything out before we go on the speed round.
All right, so Terminator 2 is where James Cameron got to perfect everything that he wanted to do when he set out making this franchise. Terminator 1 now, if you go back, but it doesn't look good anymore. If you go back now and you watch the T-1000 as it melts and goes through bars, it's still amazing. It looks fantastic. The cinematography is better, the acting is better, the actual story and characters are better, and it's just a more complex film, but it's also accessible to audiences. It's scarier because the T-1000 is far more threatening than just a biker. He's an actual, like, it's more philosophical and more sci-fi because it's something that you wouldn't expect. It's something that you don't envision in any other film before this. Like, T-800 and Terminator 1, he's Michael Myers. That's what it is. It's just a little bit science fiction-y because there's a time machine involved. That's the only difference.
All right. And Manning's your final thoughts?
Complexity does not automatically make a better film. Look at Mother. They tried to do balance really complex themes, and they failed by most accounts. It's about how you execute the story, and the simplicity of what the Terminator did is create a nice sci-fi horror in the vein of Alien, but make it slightly different as well. And Terminator 2 is a great movie. These are both great movies, but Terminator set the bar for what Terminator 2 could do. And Terminator 1, I believe, executed that just a bit better than what Terminator 2 could, because you also have John Connor in that one who's like, no, not really. That's personal preference, I don't care for the kid. But what they did in Terminator 1 and establish Arnold Schwarzenegger as this household name, I think is something that people look back like, oh yeah, Terminator 1 is what made me terrified of technological terrors such as the Terminator. That's what people think about.
All right. That was a very good round between both of you. Both very good arguments. Definitely liked a lot of the points made. I think Jen was very strong. You put up the points that Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor are both kind of weaker in the first film, and the villain is better, the technology is better. James Cameron thinks the film is better. I don't really take to merit Rotten Tomato scores for arguing what movie is better, so I'm not really going to count that as a point. But personally, myself, I do like Terminator 1 better. But I think in terms of this argument, Jen was a little stronger, putting the characters, the themes, how it holds up a little more, and all that together. Now, the point about Schwarzenegger's career being made with the first Terminator film was a good point for sure. But I think the whole Sarah Connor thing, the whole character of Kyle Reese being kind of strange, and the relationships that built up in Terminator 2, I am giving the point to Jen on that one. So we are tied right now at 2-2. This is going to be a very interesting speed round. Now, here's how the speed round works. It's going to be 3 questions, and it's not going to be possible to have a tie since you guys are tied right now. So we're only going to 3 questions. If you make there, if someone scores the first 2 points, then it will be over. But if, say, Manning scores the first one, Jen scores the second one, we will go to the 3rd question. And it's going to be 20 seconds first, then a 10-second rebuttal. Just shout your answer, and whoever shouts first will get to answer first. So we all clear on how that works?
Yep.
Uh-huh. Of course.
All right. I like to have a little fun with my speed round questions. So the first one, what movie family would you like to spend Thanksgiving with?
My initial reaction was so bad. I'll tell you later.
Okay. No, please tell us.
The Incredibles.
That's actually what. Wait, so that's what you're gonna pick?
That's what I'm picking. That's what I'm picking. But I'll tell you what I thought of earlier.
Oh, okay.
It was really bad.
Shoot, because that's what I was going to pick. All right. Oh no. Actually, oh no. Wait. Okay. Could you repeat the question one more time?
What movie family would you like to spend Thanksgiving with?
Why is it so hard to think of a family?
You want me to tell you my other one? You can use that.
No. I will find out. I will pick it out of a hat. If so, help me. The Baileys from It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, okay.
No one probably knows what else to say. Huh?
We're starting with Jen. 20 seconds. Whenever you start talking.
All right. The Incredibles, the Parr family is a wonderful family. There's a lot of love there. We saw in The Incredibles that Elastigirl is a fantastic cook with leftover night, so you'd have fun, you'd eat great, and you'd probably go save the world afterwards. So it's a fun time, and Thanksgiving, yeah.
You done?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, fine. Manny, you got 20 seconds on the clock for your first thing. Whenever you start talking.
You meet with the Baileys, you meet with the entirety of Bedford Falls, which is an eclectic town of people that just, live in the simplistic side of life. What they do is you have this wonderful family, there's people who have fought from nothing and to get what they are now. It is an incredibly sense of fellowship, and what's better to be thankful for than to be surrounded by all these people that you love on Thanksgiving. And I think it's an exemplary time of what could actually be with people you love.
All right. Jen, you get 10 seconds for your final thought whenever you start talking.
Okay, the Baileys, it depends on where you're looking, because a lot of them are dead by the end of the movie. If you're hanging out with the kids, those kids are annoying as hell. Uncle Billy, he almost ruined the entire family history. George is always having an existential crisis. He's kind of a jackass until his epiphany moment.
Time. All right. Okay. Manning's 10 seconds to finish up this debate whenever you start talking.
Yeah, sometimes it might get a little annoying. That's family. You know what? You might die with the Incredibles, okay? Their house blew up at the very end. You could literally die with Syndrome suddenly coming or a giant Omnidroid. That is not safe Thanksgiving.
All right. That was definitely a very interesting one. I think Jen had it first round for sure, saying that Elastigirl was an incredible cook. But Manning, you said that you might die if you're with the Incredibles, and if there's a chance of death, I think I'd rather stay with a family that doesn't have a chance of you dying or a house getting blown up. So I am giving you that point.
Have fun
Even though that
with
was
them.
kind of a cheap thing to say.
It's true. That's why I didn't want
You're saying they wouldn't save you? Are you saying they wouldn't save a person that's sitting right next to them?
Just like they didn't save their house. Yes, their house is all in flames now.
They were in it when it blew up.
I'm kidding.
Even if you're there and the house blows up, that's going to be pretty traumatic, I think.
That'd be an excellent Thanksgiving. I'd love to see a house blow up on Thanksgiving.
It's like, oh wow, fire all around. This is exciting.
Anyway, my initial thought was Texas Chainsaw Massacre family. So yeah, that's just a whole other thing. I don't know how my brain got there, but that's where it went.
Wow. Okay. That's telling.
That was really wrong.
So it's 3-2 right now. Jen, you need to hit this to stay in the game. If Manning hits this, he will win the game. And this speed round question. Okay, what one should I go with? So, this is going to be kind of like you just shout out a movie that would be better for this. So, I run a club at my high school that shows movies for high schoolers that they should see. What movie should I show for that club?
Jaws.
This is hypothetical. You really don't own you don't have
a
club.
I do.
You do? Oh, well, okay. Yeah. Listen to our recommendations then. Yeah. Casablanca.
All right, so Jen, you're up first with Jaws.
Shake your head, Jen. I see you
20
shaking your head.
seconds.
Shaking my head at you.
Go.
All right. Jaws is a near perfect film. It has something for everyone. It's horror, it's comedy, it's family, it's action. It's a fantastic movie. The story is great. The characters are great. The score is fantastic. It launched Spielberg's career to being one of the best directors of all time. It's a fantastic movie. Great. Do I have more time?
No, it's up.
But
now. You have like 2 seconds.
Whatever.
All right. 20 seconds on the clock for Manny. Whenever you start talking.
You know, it's also a perfect movie. Casablanca, a movie that has shaped cinema for years to come. And if this is a film club, you want to be able to show them, like, hey, this is what's came before us, and you could have an expert discussions on why this has been a staple for American cinema for so long, with really awesome music, with some great performances, and some really memorable lines that we now quote to this day. This would be a great movie to show and actually have a discussion for a film club.
Time. All right, Jen, 10 seconds on the clock. You can just... It'll start whenever you start talking.
All right. If you're trying to hook in younger people for a new movie, don't go to Casablanca. You're going to lose all of the male audience right away. This is a romance movie. Jaws is something for everyone, and it's engaging. Whereas Casablanca, if you're not into the whole romance thing, you're not going to have a good time. You really aren't. It's quotable, but yeah.
I gave 15 seconds since this is an important one. So, Manning, you can also have 15 seconds whenever you're
50. Awesome.
15. We're not going 50.
Jaws is indeed a great film. However, it is also a very surface level, very expertly surface level film. But this is a film club. You come in here to actually look at film and dissect it. And if this was just kind of like a showing with friends, yeah, Jaws. But these are people who've come to actually view a film and actually dissect it. And Casablanca is one of those, oh no, films where that can be done. You saw my voice giving out at the end there. Oh boy, this is going to be great.
You turned into Roz there for a second.
Yeah. Oh, hurry up, Linus. We're here for you.
Yeah, I got to do my paperwork, you know. Got to do my paperwork. I think Jen's saying that it's a little more versatile and for everyone, and it's going to be more enjoyable, and it crosses more themes, and it's more kind of, it crosses comedy, adventure, horror, all that in one film. So I'm going to give it to Jen with that one.
But not really romance, guys. You're missing out
There's
that
romance.
one. I love romance.
The Brodies are a freaking sexy couple.
I won't give you that one, but I won't argue.
All right. This is it. It's for all the marbles, for the big
boy.
win.
Knew it'd come.
Most important fight in your entire life. So, you know,
Wow.
you're going to want to do good. The final speed round question. What holiday would you like to see more films made about?
Oh, jeez. Oh. I know what I don't want more movies about. I'll go with
Taking
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Ah! Beat you to it.
Yeah, Manning barely started the word first.
Ah!
All right.
I was gonna maybe I can do something like Lincoln Day, Lincoln's birthday, but I'm like, no, that's not good too.
Yeah, it's going to get kids in the theater.
That's true.
If he was still alive, that could be the new Gary Marshall film, Lincoln Day.
Lincoln Day. No, he passed away, so but
Yeah.
you can't do it. But
all right. I'll take the 4th of July.
All right. So we got Thanksgiving,
very
versus the
American
4th of July.
holidays.
I'll change it to Bastille Day.
That's true.
20 seconds whenever you start talking, arguing for Thanksgiving films.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said it first, so.
That's right. Thanksgiving is sadly overlooked because it is in between Christmas and Halloween, two big powerhouses when it comes to what we see on the holiday screen. But Thanksgiving is a time where we actually just come together to celebrate Thanksgiving. And if more things were set during this time period, I feel like Christmas is there and Halloween's there, but Thanksgiving is a fantastic movie. It's a time to sit down with the family and actually celebrate something where we actually can give thanks together.
All right. Jen, 20 seconds on the clock when you start talking.
Okay. Independence Day, it's a holiday that is very American, and you can really run with that and make it like this really like crazy comedy kind of thing, like a Seth Rogen, James Franco kind of thing of America and all our weird quirks and everything, and just like a kooky day with fireworks and explosions and just American flags everywhere. And Thanksgiving, it's been done. It has been done, and it hasn't been done more because it's boring.
All right. 10 seconds. All the marbles here for the win.
first off, Thanksgiving is not boring. We have an amazing food. What other type of holiday does that happen? But also, we also have Independence Day, one of the most famous movies of all time. That in and of itself sets the tone for what 4th of July can be. And yeah, there are a lot of Seth Rogen, Christine Tarantino comedies. Why would we want that more? We have plenty for those.
Time. Again, I'm going 15 seconds again. So, Jen, when you're talking, 15. Yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah, if you click on the Hallmark Channel at any point right now, there's about 20 movies about Thanksgiving, and they're all boring because they're all about families fighting and eating. You don't get any energy out of just eating and fighting. Independence Day, you can have fun. There's explosions. Independence Day is great. That's one. You can have more. We can make more about Independence Day and about how crazy America is.
Time. Well, two patriotic holidays. And I think that's the first time Hallmark films have been brought up on any movie podcast.
Do they actually have Thanksgiving Hallmark movies?
I think I've seen
them. There are.
I think I've seen
them
before.
I don't watch
them a lot.
I don't think anyone watches the Hallmark films, but it was actually a pretty good point brought up. And
there's others outside too. Like there's one called Home for the Holidays that's Jodie Foster made, and it is a slog.
Now I'm looking this up. Are there actually?
It's Holly Hunter and Robert Downey Jr. and they're just fighting the whole time. It's really awful.
All right, so I think these were some very good points made. Manning, you did get a little bit caught up about how it was between Halloween and Christmas, and I think you maybe wasted a little time just talking about that, and it needed a little more shadow to it. You did bring up the points that Independence Day was shown in Independence Day, but I feel like Jen gave us more of a background of what a film could be like if we had one take place there, and you didn't bring up planes, trains, and automobiles or anything like that. So I think I am going to give the point to Jen and the win on Jen. Just barely like that. There was a very close game. But Jen, you came in as a rookie and you won a match. How do you feel?
America, fuck yeah. Yeah, that's a weird question to win on. But yeah, it feels good. I knew it was going to be fun going back and forth with Manning, and especially because after seeing his picks, I was like, yeah, those were either the one I wanted first or the one I wanted second. So it was like fighting myself. So.
Right, and Manning, such a close defeat, but Jen is no one to be disappointed about. You played great today. You showed great qualities of a fighter, and it was a great match. How do you feel?
Disappointed because now Jen will hold this over me. Then I've lost 2 things with her.
I'm telling Jacob.
Trivia.
Lost in the last speed round.
Okay. Well, I did. I was super happy with how close it was. Now my hair is disheveled, and now my voice is nearly gone. So I have my battle wounds to show for this. And just for a fun fact, I do think T2 is a better film, but I wanted to pick T1 because I wanted to try to, see if I could actually come up with it. I couldn't, but you know what?
That's what I did for Super Mario Brothers, because I actually enjoy that film.
Ha! See, we admit sometimes we do it because we want to stretch our abilities as fighters, and just a bit. Mine was just a little less stretchy today. Yeah. That sounds weird. All right, yeah. Sure. I'm excited. I enjoyed everything. So it was a lot of fun.
We're definitely gonna want to have both of you back. And where can we find you guys on? Whatever. Yeah. Where can we find you, Jen?
You can find me on Twitter and Stardust, Jen Kemp at JK Meme Queen. You can find both of us on Take 3 Productions, and yeah, just anywhere there's trivia, I'm probably there.
You honestly win like everything. You're so good.
She is very good.
Could be champion of every league someday. And Manning, where can we find you on places and stuff?
You will find me always being right behind Jen because I can never be hearing anything, and that's okay. She's a great human. She's a wonderful human being. But anyway, you can find me on Twitter at Cine_man. That's CINEMANN. Cineman. Get it? Cinema Man Manning. Okay, moving on. And of course, find me at Take 3 Productions. You can also find me editing podcasts at Geek Pulse Radio at Geeks and Gamers, as well as doing other stuff while I finish up this school year. Senior year, guys. Senior year of college. Woohoo. I have no time.
I hear you. I'm a junior in high school.
It's only going to get better from here. And worse.
That's the Toy Story 3 themes for you right there.
Better and worse.
I'm Linus. You can find me at Linus Babcock on places. I'm on the Movie Trivia Summit on Facebook page. I'm an admin there. I was recently on Reaction Summit at Take 3, so check that out. I'm going to be on this channel. I admin here. And I am the current #1 contender here for some reason. I don't know how that happened, but I am. So, guys can try and fail to knock me down from my throne, but it's not going to happen. Anyways, this was a very exciting match, and come back, join the Facebook page, the Battleground Facebook page, if you want to get into the matches and you want to join the match. We have a top 10 rankings showed every Sunday if you want to keep up to date on that. I'm sure Jan and Manning will both be in the top 10 after these great performances. So, as always, thanks for watching, and this Battleground happened with movies. You don't really have to close off, but yeah.
Work in progress.